PG-13, this is G.I. Joe and Delta17 and in the Navy heavy armor toys. So I did get another addition to the Snow Serpent family. We have 8 Snow Serpents. Now, one thing about army building is you gotta wait for a good price. But the best place to get a good price is maybe you check out your Facebook Marketplace or your Kijiji or any other online sites that are close, as well as going to your local collectible store and working out a deal. Because eBay is the worst place probably, because you have to pay shipping on top of if you buy one single figure. So all those eBay sellers out there, if you're not putting your figures in lots, and that's the other key, you want to buy your figure in a lot, because then that's the only way you actually save on an eBay. Or you can, one other way is to contact the seller and offer them a lower amount. They could counter offer with a higher, or say, or accept your offer. So that is one other way you can army build. And I guess in the States they have that other site. You'll have to go check out Joe's and Beards. He'll tell you what the name is. I forget what it's called. But I also got another addition to my Iron Grenadiers. As you can see, I have one custom Iron Grenadier in the back there. But hopefully this video coming clear. I just changed the setting again just to see. But now, one thing about customizing your figures is that you want to sometimes look for the original weapons, but if the original weapons are not good for the hands, I'm going to repeat that one last time, if they're not good for the hands, if they're going to be, too thick of a handle, it could snap off your figure, or maybe the gun butt, it's just weird, it's not long enough, so it's going to create some sort of weird thing happening with the hand and the joint to stretch it. Now remember, I told you the 30-second rule, 20 to 30 seconds, and that is you can put the figure hand in boiling water, and then basically, I'll have to do a video on it, and then run it under cold water as you squeeze it before, and then you run it under cold water as you hold it, so it keeps that tightness, and it makes the hand just like new again. So I've done it with Spirit and a few other ones. It works quite well. Now there's other figures like the commemorative figures. Do you army build your Joes or your Cobras? Do you army build your Okamis or bats? And you've seen my bat army on the shelf there, and we'll have to show you again. Now I love the bats, and like I said, I was disappointed that we couldn't get our bats online, otherwise I would have bought another 10 or 20 of the Python Patrol ones. And again, army building, when does it start? Army building starts when you're getting 2 or more figures. And when did it originate? It originated in 1983 with the first Cobra soldiers and officers. Now, those figures are awesome. I love them. I have a whole shelf in the background, way over there. Just all the different types of Cobra officers and soldiers and troopers. And I love the Vipers. And we've definitely seen all the different types of Vipers. And remember, I do have a few videos of the Viper checklist. All the different types of Vipers you can get. Up to 82 different ones, because we count these troopers. Yes, we do. We count them as Vipers. Otherwise it'd be only 80. But you get what I'm saying. If you love to army build, and now don't forget, like heavy armor toys in the Navy, they only got about 50 sailors left, and then they're going to go with the ones with the life preservers and life jackets. So I highly recommend you get some sailors, because you know they're great for your hovercraft or your water vehicles or your USS flag. Now again, they also have that other site. You just go to Heavy Armor Toys on Facebook, and like they have other figures, but as you can see I've crossed two different lines to make those customs there. So you have the Delta 17 in the house. They have the desert, as well as they have the regular. I don't know how well this is going to come in, but the regular infantry trooper. And then basically you can, you know, change around parts, see how it works, and fit your weapons whatever you like. Like sometimes I order from Marauders, but right now I'm ordering a whole bunch from Delta17 Toys, and they do fit in the hands of all the vintage we've showed you in the other videos. I've put them in the hands. My Snake Eyes, he's back there. Now, what is your favorite army building figure? I'm definitely going to go try to get a couple more vintage ones before the prices just get outright insane. But I'm going to try to build my Russian army and getting more of these Thunder Battalion figures, whether it be 2-packs or just individual. And I might want to get a few more Crimson Guards for my line, but I do have the other ones with the removable helmets that came in, I think, a 6-pack. So, and they also came with a vehicle. And don't forget there's the Shadow Guard as well. They're all in black. Oh. And then, you know, all depends on what type of figure you like. Like I do like the Ferret Driver. You know, I rebuilt some of those. Sometimes you just get extra ones. You know, people love army building the Astro Vipers or the Strato Vipers. I would love to get more Immortal Guards, but they're just so hard to come by. And again, you just have so many different figures to choose from. And I do love these figures here as well. You know, the Ice Viper. And we can't forget about the Alley Viper. Now some people do army build ninjas. You know, if you get Fireflies that all look the same, they look fantastic. Same with Jinx and Storm Shadow. The Storm Shadow here, I had one up there. So I have about 6 of those. Some people love to army build Buddhas. But I do love the Jinxes. What other figures might you army build? Well, there's another thing about army building too, is, you know, all the different types of figures you love. You know, the Hydro Viper, the Eels, even Copperhead, as well as the Lamprey drivers you can army build. And remember, you can always make your own custom figures. So, but the fun part about army building is it never ends. So if you really love your figure that you want the most, now some people might army build their vintage because the green shirts, you know, they like all the same unison. Or you might love your Sergeant Slaughter, so you get a couple extra. That is army building. For all those who don't know. Or maybe you want to army build a Desert Force and then throw in some customs, so you get more unison figures, and that is the key to it all. A unison color as well. You know, oh yes, the Motor Vipers. We almost forgot the Motor Vipers and the other Vipers. I don't know how well that's going to come in. The Rock Vipers. You know, and Skull Crusher. I kind of think they called them Skull Crusher. I never had those ones growing up. And some people want to army build their Dreadnoughts. We do have a whole shelf full of Dreadnoughts. But another thing is, when you're making customs, you know, Fast Draw's head fits perfectly, that's right, perfectly on Lift Ticket's body. So then you can army build those, your own custom that you made. You know, there's so many different things that you can do with customs. It makes collecting way more fun when you're building different figures. Or maybe you want to get a whole bunch of wetsuits. You know, each their own. Everybody's got their own favorites they love to get into. But I was thinking, and I still want to do it, the Sky Patrol. You know, I take a Motor Viper's head, put it on the body, and then you have your own commander or officer, whichever you choose. But tell me down below in the comments, who do you love to army build the best? What is your favorite army building figure? And what would you love to see in the future? Maybe Super 7 will bring back our Vipers and not screw that up. Or maybe Hasbro will in a future collaboration of the Transformer crossovers. You never know. I personally would love to see more Vipers. Everybody out there loves their Vipers. The Viper's coming. And you know, some people love to build Storm Shadows. There's all sorts of types of army building out there. But one thing is for sure, you're getting more than one. You're army building that figure. Some people might go a little crazy and army build a hell of a lot more. And some people just, if you go to Joe's and Beard's channel, you'll see. And again, cool toys, cool things. There's It's Chad's channel. There's tons of channels out there. Oh, Dave C, straight from the pit. He does have, I guess he's going through the same sort of medical problem that I had. So show some support over there and go subscribe and check out his channel. That's Dave C, straight from the pit. Because he was gone for a little while and kind of wondering what happened to him. And don't forget to subscribe to good channels like Toy Connections. And stay away from toxic channels that, you know, rope you in and then 1 minute they just turn on you. You know, they don't have a sense of humor and they can't joke around. Like Punk with Toys, I mean. So again, you know, maybe it wasn't Punk that did it, but he sure allowed his moderators to. So again, well, I've seen what he's done to other people on his channel. You know, just because they have a different opinion than his own. Pro Hasbro shell, just a little shilling, shill, and we all shill a little. Delta17toy, get yours today. But yes, Heavy Armor Toys does have a Kickstarter if you're gonna help them and get in on it. But I don't know if it's gonna fund at that 60,000. That's a little bit high. But if they don't fund, they're still making figures anyways. So I don't know why they're going after another Kickstarter when they should be able to just fund whatever they got already. But I guess they need more money to make more figures. So, you know. But hopefully we'll be seeing a lot more other figures coming soon. And I don't know which figures we have on the way. But they're definitely going to be a surprise. Because we're definitely adding to the Cobra Army. And we're trying to get that Viper count down. Because before it was at 24. And then as the Vipers come in, that count goes right down. So it should be trying to get the Viper list completed. But I don't think so. Not this year. I got to pay for half a roof. So there goes a good chunk of my collecting money. But I'll still be adding to the collection a little bit here and there. So again, and yes, I get a little more out of breath, but we're almost out of time here. This video is about to end. So like, comment, subscribe, and tell me what you love. I love